What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Bland back with another video. How is everybody doing? And before I get into today's video, I do want to say a quick shout out to everybody who came out and watched the Shop Podcast this past Sunday. The Shop Podcast episode 360, man. Appreciate all you guys. Once again, we understand the transition, so to make that easier, we're gonna make sure we retweet the link, let everybody know the Shop Podcast is on a new day and time. But I appreciate all you guys for coming to hang out with us on Sundays. It's always a good time, and we will be doing it again this Sunday, once again at 3 p.m. AZ time, 5 p.m. EST, man. But today is a big day. It's a random Tuesday, February 25th, and we got some massive gaming news in the industry today. Some bad, I would say some bad, 50-50 here, depending on your perspective and how you look at it. But I want to start with the terrible news coming out of Monolith. Yes, Monolith, the developers of games like Fear, of Shadow of Mordor, the beholders of the Nemesis system that we may never ever see in a video game ever again, which I think is the biggest underlying tragedy behind this story here. But essentially, they closed down, they are shutting down. As well as they have canceled the Wonder Woman game that they have been making, I believe, for about 5 or 6 years now. It's been in development for a while. So we all know WB had been going through a bunch of issues. The entire, the larger group, WB Discovery, had issues they've been trying to sell themselves and partner up with other companies larger to make a bigger company to help stabilize things financially, and they've been able to do that. So financials have been up in the air over there for a while, but I hate to see this in the industry because these are like unnecessary sacrifices. We're just not ever going to see this game ever again. On top of that, we're never going to see the Nemesis system because guess what? It was locked behind WB. Nobody else can license that system and or use it now. We'll never see another game. And that halts progress because if you've never played Shadow of Mordor, go play it. I think you might be able to buy the game for like $5 or $6 at this point. I still go back from time to time and watch Shadow of Mordor playthroughs. It's some of the best gameplay, some of the most unique gameplay in that Nemesis system really shines with how it really impacts how you kill people in the order, the literal Nemesis system, how they reply back to you. They'll do things, you know what I mean? Like it literally changes the game in real time. It's so amazing to see. You go kill one orc and it remembers that was its cousin, and then you know what I mean, like all kind of how it influenced the story. It's a really cool system, but once again, that is the unfortunate casualty of bad news, and this is where we seem to be at in the industry in a day and age where you can make a hit game like Marvel Rivals and NetEase and still lose your job and still have to lay off half of the dev studio even after launching a successful game. So this is unfortunate. I hate to see it. Once again, thoughts out to all the developers that have lost their job. Hopefully, people send out notices and, you know, they find employment quickly because it is a dog-eat-dog world out here in this gaming industry. And that's the worst part about all of this is the human sacrifice, right? All the time that people took, all the passion and care, and then poof, it's gone overnight. Just because of a bad situation or, you know, whatever the case couldn't get handled on the higher up situation. Then we got some other news today, which for me as a big Xbox fan, I'm not upset about this news at all. And it was huge news. There was a podcast. Shout out to Tina Amini, did a podcast. He had Craig Duncan on the podcast, and he actually went over pretty much Xbox's upcoming, you know, first party lineup. And he had gone and, saw a bunch of the games and hung out with the team and played these games. And he kind of did a brief overview. And one of the big highlights, obviously, is Fable. Because a lot of people, and they had put the date on this, Xbox did put a date on it. It was scheduled for 2025, late 2025. But there's a couple things at play here. Well, obviously it was moved. Let's get there. It was obviously moved to 2026. So there's a couple things I want to say about this. One, there's an obvious elephant in the room, and we got to address this. And the elephant in the room is GTA 6. Let's be clear here. Anything coming out in the last 4 months of the year has to be wary of that game because you don't want to be anywhere near of that game. It's going to be the biggest video game launch in gaming history by far. You don't want to be anywhere near that game when it comes out. So with that being kind of up in the air from Rockstar and nobody really knows at this point, I'm sure that had some influence on that. And on top of that, I wasn't even upset because, one, we hadn't really seen much gameplay. I did suspect we saw more gameplay this coming up, this showcase this year. I did suspect we get even more, but I don't even know at this point. Maybe they hold on to that until like a dev direct when they can do like a 5-6 minute full-fledged dev direct on the game. I do suspect it might be at both. It might be at the showcase and it show up at the dev direct as well. So I'm really, really hyped for that. But I'm still excited for, Fable nonetheless. The gameplay they showed, there was a bunch of new gameplay, by the way. I don't want to forget about that. Looked phenomenal. The game looked crispy. The environments looked crispy. The combat looked great. You can tell that it was pre-alpha footage, but it looked phenomenal. It looked just as good as when we saw it at the showcase. And 1,000% confirmed, shout out to 3-Bit on this one, that was a gameplay we saw at the showcase a couple years ago, because this gameplay looked almost exactly the same. Obviously, they showed some extended combat, some other things going on. The game looked great. And shout out to Playground. Take all the time you need. Listen, we just saw, look, I just said, I made a video recently saying Avowed was my game of the year, right? And Avowed got a delay. And you can absolutely see the benefit of that delay in Avowed's case. A game like Fable has to come out in its best possible form. You're bringing this franchise back, reintroducing it essentially to a new crowd. You want to put your best foot forward. So delaying it for, I don't even know, 4, 5, 6 months, however long you delay it, is completely fine with me, because you can only ship a broken game one time. So you want to get something like Fable, and I'm sure Phil and everybody up the top, you want to put your best foot forward. So I'm 1,000% okay with the delay. I know some people are disappointed by it. I completely understand. I want all of these games. Xbox has a phenomenal lineup, though. Really, looking at the year, we're already stacked up until May with Doom. Then we're going to get even more after the showcase in June, July. So we're already stacked. I'm good to go. I'm going to be playing a bunch of shit throughout the year, so I'm not really worried about a lack of things to play. And actually, by the time we get to the showcase, I probably won't even be thinking about Fable until we see more of it, to be truthful. So either way, don't want to drag this video too long, but let me know what you guys think about the Wonder Woman news. That is very, very unfortunate. And then about the Fable delay being moved to 2026. But other than that, come check us out. Hang out with us this Sunday. Once again, new day, new time, 3 p.m. AZ time, 5 p.m. EST. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.